Well, I've been working in Batcave here doing some repairs on the community. It was really smoky yesterday. I actually feel kind of sick from breathing the smoke in yesterday, but it looks a little better out there today from the wildfires going on. I might see if I can find out a little more about the wildfires later. But yeah, I just happened to notice over here this kind of respirator machine. I wonder where that came from, if it washed down here from somewhere else or if it was from one of these houses. I don't know, but I'm kind of intrigued with it. I'm going to take it and see if I can get it working maybe. Yeah, beautiful day though. Glad it's a little less smoky. By the time that I took this screen recording, a few hours after I was actually there, the worst of the air quality was over. It had improved at this point, but you can still see there's hundreds of miles of just horrible air quality here. I've never seen anything like it here in North Carolina. Wow, what a beautiful day. Look at all this sand. There was a massive pile of debris, like probably 10 feet high, where I took this recording a couple of weeks ago. It's all of everyone's ruined furniture and stuff all behind me there. But thankfully the county did pick that up recently, but there's still a lot to pick up. So yeah, that's the status of things. We've got probably a good 5 or 6 feet of dirt scraped off and removed, so we're making improvements. My neighbor's house was right here behind me. I dug out their water pipe and found it and marked it there. But yeah, I spent many evenings hanging out with them. They saved their shed, but wow, can't believe it still. I'm standing on Highway 9 here. Looks a lot different than it did 6 months ago. They've got a good base of rock and stuff down, and some of it's actually paved, so that's nice. Back over there behind me, looks like they've built out a place to maybe rebuild their cottages over on the other side of the river. So yeah, that's the current status of things here in Batcave. You can see there's a bit of smoke behind me from the wildfires, but it's not too bad. It was worse yesterday. There's where my neighbor's house was. It basically slid forward from there to about there with a little help of some big machinery, and then the county picked it up. You can see on my house here where the mud line used to be about 6 feet up. A massive tree fell on my house here, and I had a deck that was built on top of the roof, but it took that deck off, so I think it protected the roof. Well, it's been pretty much exactly 6 months since Hurricane Helene, and so far I've got like $700 something from FEMA, which I am grateful for, and I've got some really good volunteer help. But after waiting to meet with an inspector, a county inspector, for months, we finally had a meeting, and he didn't condemn my house, so that's good, I guess. But now I have to hire an engineer to make plans to fix it. So I guess that's the next step. In cleaning out the hurricane-affected houses, it's amazing how that really fine sandy dirt, it's so hard to clean out. It just takes forever. Very labor intensive. Hours of scrubbing with a stiff bristle brush is what gave me this little pile of dirt. You can see here, I'll show you where we've redirected the creek back into its original spot. There was a big debris pile here that made the creek basically flow through the middle of the driveway. It actually flowed down into my house, but with some good help from some buddies, we got the creek back flowing in its original place. This house made it out better than most of the other ones in the community here, but all of them have just this really hard, sticky mud on the floor. It takes forever to get out. That water really does look beautiful and clean today. I wonder if the trout are there. You can see these people have built out this nice little place to rebuild their cottages. I've gone through trying to figure out how to get some help from FEMA. I've spent a good bit of time on it, but so far I've got $700 something. I don't remember exactly, but it was 700 something. But I think probably about at least $60,000 worth of property damage is what I'm dealing with here. We've got to replace all of my electrical devices and the electrical panel. It was all underwater in here. The water level basically went up to the ceiling on this bottom level. You can see where my crawl space just totally filled in with mud. Well, there's my shed. That shed had thousands of dollars worth of tools and mountain bikes, and I had a little bass fishing boat out here, all gone. Putting some ground control stuff over there. I haven't drove through Chimney Rock Village in a little while, so let's check that out. I am kind of interested to check out the wildfires, but like I was saying, I was breathing that. It was heavy smoke down here yesterday, so I kind of want to get away from the smoke. I've definitely noticed that my eyes and my lungs feel irritated after breathing it yesterday. Highway 9 here is looking so much better. I mean, they've got so many tons and tons of rocks to fill this in. Where I'm driving right here was basically at the same level as the river down there and just looked like part of the riverbed. Coming up on the right, there was the nicest house in Batcave. He's just got a couple of storage sheds left, but he's a really good artist. He used to walk down and go fishing in a fishing hole right across from my house, so I would chat with him and sometimes see him when I was fishing too down there. Turning off of Highway 9 onto Highway 74. You saw the signs there. Go right to get to Asheville and Fairview. Go left to get to Chimney Rock. Coming up on the old cider mill on the right. I did buy cider from them a few times. It was neat because it was the only store that I could really walk to from my house. Turn right there on 64, that takes you to Hendersonville. Here's a relief center here still set up. There's a trailer with showers and facilities in it. That's the Batcave post office. Very convenient. I would usually walk or ride my bike there from my house. There's the Batcave Visitor Center on my left. My realtor in the area, Colder Realty, used to have a real nice rock building on the right there. About 50 feet of fancy fence is all he's got left. can see this is where the new pavement starts. Well, there was some new pavement that we went over already, but I think pretty much all of the asphalt that we see between here and Lake Lure is new. You can see that landslide in the turn over on my left, and then imagine how that river over there went all the way up to basically the bottom of that landslide. And all this that I'm driving on was like riverbed. So amazing the amount of tons of rocks they've brought in to build this back up. We are starting to be able to see the actual Chimney Rock from here. Of course, the Last of the Mohicans movie was filmed here, and the last several minutes of that movie, the climax of the movie towards the end, was filmed at the top of the waterfall. You can hike to the top of that waterfall when the park is open normally. The Last of the Mohicans was an internationally successful movie. It starred Daniel Day-Lewis and was released in 1992. I learned recently that another movie called Firestarter starring Drew Barrymore was filmed here. I've never seen that movie, but I am a Drew Barrymore fan, and I think it was based off of a book written by Stephen King, so that might be pretty cool. Maybe check that out sometime. You can see on the right a new service road over there. It seems like the road is being built pretty much in the same place as the old road, and they are kind of corralling the river back into its original location with just so many tons of rocks on both sides of it. I think maybe more of the original asphalt survived than I realized, but you can see these landslides. It was just so covered up with mud and debris before. There's a skid steer Indo. Nice. But yeah, I didn't really realize how much of the original pavement did actually survive. Yeah, you can see, look over there to the right, and then back to the left, and that just kind of gives you an idea of how wide the river got. Here's the paving crew coming up. It looks like they really are trying to go for pretty much putting this road back where it was. There's the Burnt Shirt Vineyard. You can see their parking lot broke off. Man, they had the best deck with a view of the waterfall. Hello, sir. When I first moved here, that restaurant on the left was called Medina's. Super great place. They had unbelievable lobster bisque. There's a good view of Chimney Rock on the right, and we can start to see that it's springtime. Some of these trees are getting their green leaves, which is so great to see. That's not happening up in Burnsville yet, but we're a lot further south here. There is the entrance to Chimney Rock Park. Got love written. Coming up on the right is the Bubba O'Leary's General Store. Looks like they've done a lot of work to rebuild it. It was pretty much destroyed before. Peter O'Leary is the mayor of Chimney Rock, and you can tell by all these improvements that he is doing a great job. My wife used to work for his store, and they let me play music outside sometimes. Can see those big piles of heavy-duty pipe on both sides of the road here. So they're really rebuilding all of the infrastructure through here. They've got faith painted on the storage container here. Amen, brothers and sisters. And hope on this one. That's nice. I am really glad for springtime this year. I usually do really love the winter. I love winter hikes. I love snowboarding. But this year, it's just been so muddy and dirty, and so many trees got killed by the storm that I'm really happy to see spring here. I want the plants and trees to grow back strong so they can hold the soil in place. There's the sign for the end of Chimney Rock Village. And these cones here indicate that all of this road that we just drove on is closed, but I am local traffic. Here's the sign for the flowering bridge and the climbing area. And crossing over this bridge, we see where the Rocky Broad River goes into Lake Lore. glad that big house up on the hill survived. I always thought that was a pretty neat mansion up there overlooking the lake. Some of my very earliest memories as a kid are going down that water slide there. One of my very first friends that I had, the son of my mom's friend, lived in Lake Lore. I used to stop at this building on the right sometimes. It was a little market. I did hear through the grapevine that the man that ran that little market did survive. Here's where Highway 9 splits off to the right, and we'll follow 6474 here to the left. Here's the sign for Rutherfordton, Charlotte, and Morganton. Here's the Canoe Restaurant on the left. All of these businesses through here are really great. As soon as they're open again, everybody come back and support them. I've seen hundreds of big culverts like that one in front of me ripped out of the ground, so I would guess that that is a replacement for a destroyed culvert there in front of me. If it wasn't for the wildfires, the sky would look very blue and clear today. This is not from the clouds, this is from wildfire smoke. We are close to Little Switzerland and Lynn Gap and the Blue Ridge Parkway right here. That is the Blue Ridge Parkway on my right and Lynn Lodge there on the left. We can see through here that crews have been working hard to clean up some of the deadfall in this area. It's unreal how many downed trees and trees got killed by the storm. And of course, that is a huge contributing factor in the severity of the wildfires around here. Coming up on the Little Switzerland Tunnel here. There's Highway 226 and Big Lynn Lodge, where we drove a few minutes ago over there on the right. This sign says area closed, all National Park Service area beyond this point closed to the public for use of travel because of emergency conditions. I think I saw where somebody got a ticket for going past one of those signs on the parkway, so I will leave that for another day. Here we are on Highway 19 between Spruce Pine and Burnsville. You can see that the smoke is really making everything a very different color than it usually would be out here. But it is a very beautiful evening, even though it's smoky. I've seen several of these signs today that say expect heavy smoke and there is a burn ban in effect. Here's the sign for Highway 80, Mount Mitchell, and Silo there on the left. A lot of progress has been made cleaning up these buildings and debris here. This fella on my right is still living in his camper. Thank you for watching. May God bless you and your loved ones. Another unlivable house here with its residents living in the camper.